All right, so I spent Sunday afternoon watching the Bears and Raiders game, and I'm watching Tyson Bagent, an undrafted rookie free agent out of Shepherd in West Virginia, Division II school, become the first quarterback to be an undrafted rookie at a Division II to win a game since 1950. And I'm reading everything I can possibly read about the guy because I'm fascinated about his path and his journey. And time again, I'm reading awesome quotes and awesome stories and great encouragement from his college coach, the great Ernie McCook out of Shepherd. So when we're doing the podcast this week, I'm like, what's the story of the week? I'm asking Aaron, who should we talk about? It just kept on coming up. Tyson Bagent, Tyson Bagent, Tyson Bagent. So with no further ado, let's get his college coach on the podcast. Ernie McCook, welcome to the season with Peter Schrager.
Man, Peter, it's great to be with you today, and we're going to talk about probably two of my favorite things, Shepherd University football and Tyson Bagent.
Let's start with Shepherd University football. So you're the coach for a few years now. You had history with this program before bouncing around a little bit and then coming back to the school. What is Shepherd University? And I'm not being insulting as an NFL guy speaking out of it. Yeah. Where are you guys? Enrollment, all the stuff, and then what has this done for the program?
Our address is West Virginia. The campus sits right on the banks of the Potomac River. We're literally from one end of a football field to the other end of the football field from the state of Maryland. We're an hour and 15 minutes out of Washington, D.C., an hour and 15 minutes out of Baltimore. So we are able to recruit, as you're probably familiar with, the DMV. Oh, yeah. We recruit from Richmond to Baltimore off that 95 corridor. And we want to recruit in state and especially locally in state. And we've had a lot of opportunities to attract some really good football players, along with Tyson Bagent. We've had some really guys that have gone on and done some really good things, playing at the next level. But nobody has had quite the first game like Tyson had on Saturday versus the Raiders.
And no one is invited to the Senior Bowl, and you had multiple guys invited to the Senior Bowl last year. And I know you were there, and you brought a whole cast of guys down there to Mobile. We'll go backwards and start from the start with Bagent, but I think just that experience, when you go to the Senior Bowl out of Division II school, and Jim Nagy, who runs that thing, gives you guys the call. I loved it because I was listening to an interview. I was doing my research for the podcast. You had about 4 different coaches with you. You guys were finding your way to the field. You were going to support your guy. Did you have any doubt that he would be able to light it up and do just fine against that Division I talent?
Well, I got to tell you a story about when Jim Nagy called me, right? So I'm sitting right here in my office. It's probably 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And you know what? I take it back. It was the call for Joey Fisher, the second guy to get called up to him. So I see this Arizona phone number, and I'm thinking, man, it's probably a scout wanting to come to practice. So I give him a call back. He goes, hey, he said, this Jim Nagy is Senior Bowl coach. I just wanted to tell you, we're going to invite Joey Fisher to join Tyson Bagent at the Senior Bowl. And he goes, just so you know, this will be the first time in the history, we think, of the Senior Bowl that we'll have had 2 Division II players from the same team playing the same game. And so then he said, I kind of took it all in, and I said, Jim, you're going to make me have to come to this game.
Yeah, I'll be there.
And then he was like, you're not going to come just for Tyson? And then I thought about how bad that sounded.
You needed 2.
And I mean, it takes 2. You got to take 2 of my guys for me to come to the game. And that's not true. But so I was really excited at that point. And I thought Jim Nagy, if you think about Tyson's kind of climb, he took the first real shot on Tyson Bagent, giving him an opportunity to play in the Senior Bowl. There's a lot of great quarterbacks out there. He went out on a limb and took a Division II guy, and I think Tyson played extremely well in that game. It was a lot of fun. We're sitting in a staff meeting. We're a low budget football team, Peter. All right, so we're in the staff meeting, and we have some recruiting things going on. And I tell our coaches, like, hey, I'm going to go to the Senior Bowl, but I'm going to drive.
Yes.
So we drove from West Virginia to Mobile. Yes. All right. And I said, we'll pay the football will pay for the hotel room and the rental car. You guys are on your own for your meals and drinks. And we had 5 people volunteer. So we loaded up in an SUV. we made the trip down to Mobile, and of course, being able to watch Tyson practice on the field there at South Alabama with all the other guys, that was awesome. And it was the Senior Bowl. I think is one of the greatest events you could be a part of, and that may have been as proud a moment I had having a chance to see our guy, and the Senior Bowl representing Shepherd University with the Ram horns on, and playing what I think is the most prestigious college all-star
Oh,
game
it
there is.
absolutely is. Let's go way back though, because it's not a necessarily it's a great Division two program, but it's not an NFL hotbed. So you're the coach there. When you start recruiting Tyson out of what's the town he's from? It's in West Virginia as well.
Martinsburg High School here in West Virginia, about seven
So
miles
it's
away.
close. It's in your backyard. He's probably this high school star. Like, how's that recruitment process going? Did you know when he was a junior and senior that this kid could have a future?
Absolutely. Even better than that, I've watched Tyson grow up. Our families go to church together, and I will tell you, from the time he played for the Charlestown Razorbacks, okay, I'd be sitting in the pew. Him and his dad would walk by while we're going up for communion, and he would nudge me. He's going to be the man at Shepherd one day. You know, if you get a chance to talk to Travis, he'll tell you. And one time he used to tell me, "You're going to build a bronze statue of Tyson one day." And of course, you're in church. You're like, "Hey, that's awesome. It'd be great."
He's 10 years old,
Just
11 years old
all.
at the time, probably.
Yeah, 11. He was probably 11 years old and just slinging it around Charlestown and everything like that. But having known their family and watched Tyson grow up, he is a special, special person, man. He is something. I just can't say enough great things about him as a human being. I mean, just as a man, how he handles himself, and I knew that he was a I 100% felt he was a Division One
Sure.
guy, FBS guy, and we're kind of going through it. And I'm thinking he's going to get something, but if he doesn't get something, he'll have a spot with us if this is what he wants. And going through it, the only offers he really got were FCS offers. You got an FCF Albany, and I want to say Robert Morris, and some other D2s and stuff like that. Well, in 2015, we played for a national championship. And so I think he just looked at it and said, "Hey, I get a chance to stay at home, play highly competitive football at the Division two level. I get a chance to play in front of my family and friends." Like his grandfather, God rest his soul, passed away last year, was really close to him. Would sit in the stands and watch
That's amazing.
practice. His dad would come and watch practices. I mean, and it's just a family affair here for the Bajents at Shepherd University playing football here. And Tyson, I can tell you, he sent me a text. I texted him after the game this weekend, and I said, "Hey man, we're proud of you. We watched the game as a team." And he said, "Hey, thanks for the support, coach. Really appreciate it. I love Shepherd
Yes.
football." And it was just like, here's a guy playing at a high level, achieving some of the goals, dreams that we all have, and he still has love for this program that he was a part of, and an instrumental part of where we are today. So that was kind of a cool
When you
deal.
get when you
And
get this guy in there, he comes like give me some of the exploits because now you get to the Paul Bunyan, tall tale.
yeah,
Like was it just all right? Here we go. This is Steve McNair at Alcorn or one of these types of guys at a different level of school, just tearing up the league.
when recruiting Tyson, I can tell you his dad's hardcore now. His dad is
Arm wrestling champion.
he,
Yeah.
yeah, arm wrestling champion, the whole deal. Um, we're going through the process of the recruiting, and he commits to it. Before he commits to us, I told you I go to church with him. Here's a fun story for you. So Christmas Eve, my family and I, we're getting there late. Okay, so there's only a couple seats in the back of the church, right? And my family and I slide into the pew, and of course I'm a football coach, and I want to recruit Tyson Bagent even on Christmas Eve at church. All right, I mean because he was an all-state player. He's the best player in the state of West Virginia. And so I'm looking around. I'm looking for where he's at, where he normally sits, the whole deal. And then I look up. We're up for a hymnal, and I see where him and his dad are sitting. And then I see right behind him, the pew is empty. There's nobody sitting in the pew right behind him. So without even, I didn't try and even tell my wife anything. I just walked out of
Let's
our pew.
go.
Yeah, I walked around, went right down the middle of the
Everyone's
church,
looking.
and yeah, and our pastor, our priest, was like, I was wondering what you did until you sat down. He goes, what the heck? He was probably like, what is Ernie doing walking up here to the altar? But no, I was walking in. I slid right in behind Tyson and his dad, Travis, put my arm around them both. And I said, hey, God meant for us to be together. You know? And so his dad, without missing a beat, said, hey, man, it's about time you got here. We've been saving that seat for you for 20
Let's
minutes.
go. It's so good.
I mean, that was a lot of fun with that. I tell that story quite a bit. So, and back to the serious part. So Tyson commits to us. He signs with us. His senior year in high school, we're in our spring practices, right? We have 15 spring practices. Tyson is standing behind the offensive huddle for every practice.
As a high school senior.
As a high school senior, knowing I'm coming to Shepherd University, I know I'm going to play and I'm going to compete to be the quarterback. And he was taking it all in. He was doing everything he could do to learn, and so he's ready when he would get to camp in August. And the guy is absolutely phenomenal with his work ethic and his competitiveness. He's somebody that, one, I can tell you, Chicago Bears, the fan base, they will be proud that dude is a Bear. He's going to give everything he can to help that team win. And I think I told somebody else in an interview, if he's on their practice squad, all right, he's going to give the best look for he's going to be the best Justin Herbert for this weekend that the Bears defense will see until they see Justin Herbert. But the fact that I think he worked his way into being the backup, and he prepares like nobody else does. After OTAs this year in the summertime, we get back. His first day back, we were having our program, our team golf outing. So he played in it. He came and played in it with a couple of his teammates. And my son who's coaching with us now, he and Tyson were roommates. They're really close friends. So he said, hey, Michael, I need you to guarantee you'll be with me at every workout. So Michael would go to the workouts with him. But, Peter, they would practice. Michael would read the script to him through a cell phone into his ear, the long play call. He would then be out in the middle of our football field in the stadium, just the two of them by themselves. He would walk into an imaginary huddle, do the play call, walk up to the line of scrimmage, put people in motion, practice the checks, everything like that. He did it in June and July. Did it for 6 weeks.
So we got 100-degree weather in the middle of West Virginia in July, and your son, his former wide receiver and his roommate, is
it was his fullback,
whatever it is. Sorry, I'm making up history because I'm trying to do the movie script in my head. He plays a wideout in the movie. He calls on a cell phone. From where is your son? Is he there with them or is he like in the stands? Where is he?
No, he's standing on the sideline. So just so he would have a script written out here like this, and he would go.
As if he has the helmet. Oh my.
Yeah, like Deuce Wright.
And he's reading Luke Getsy's playbook. He's got the Bears playbook.
He's got the Bears play call. So what he's doing is he is simulating the mental preparation of the length of a play call, because the play calls are unbelievably long. Yeah, and then and I'm talking to Tyson and all, I'm learning a bunch myself, like the different checks, how they're checking things, the things they look for, and but when a guy is doing that, think about this one for a second. You're an undrafted free agent. You don't even know if you're going to make the team.
Very unlikely you would, yeah.
Right. Especially at the quarterback position. He goes and he's doing this all summer long. So if my son went to the beach on family vacation, they did it by telephone.
Stop.
Right?
So your son is at the beach being like, sluggo, snake, right? Or whatever, name it a call.
Yeah.
And Tyson's on an empty field in the middle of West Virginia just going through the...
Yes. Yep. And then when Tyson went to the beach, he would probably go out on the beach and practice it through he did this religiously, So the guy is a film room junkie. I read the social media, but one of the Chicago stations asked me who I thought he was. Like, who do you think? And everybody wants you to say Tom Brady. They want you to say Brock Purdy.
Kurt
They want
Warner,
that.
yeah.
Right. They want that. To me, from what I've learned in studying football, Tyson Bagent is Drew
Go on.
Brees, because the reputation Drew Brees has for the tireless film study, the unbelievable work ethic that you have to prepare for any situation that you get, that's who Tyson Bagent is. He will prepare and work. He's going to physically train his body. When he talked about shredding his life away and
CrossFit,
CrossFit,
yeah.
that's 100% accurate. Like, if you're ever in this area, you need to come visit Shepherd University, because behind our locker room, his high school history teacher it lives back there, right? And they have a man cave CrossFit training that they do. I mean, it's like all natural, like you're taking a log and you're bench pressing a log 50 times. Then you're running to the river with a weighted backpack and back. And that's the kind of stuff he does. They hollowed out. We're right on the banks of the Potomac River. Tyson and his roommates hollowed out a stream to make it a cold
A
bath,
homemade cold tub?
a homemade cold tub on the Potomac River, and they would go down there in February.
Yes.
I mean, we're not talking July where they're cooling off. They're going down there and really going through it. I mean, just the things, like the
Well,
natural
even you
things that
mentioning that,
happen.
I'm thinking about Alabama and LSU's facilities and the amount of millions. The fact that it's his high school, not his college, his high school teacher lives behind the facility, and you can't make this stuff up.
Yeah, you can't. And his high school teacher played basketball here,
Okay.
right? And salt of the earth guy, just a tremendous person, human being. And of course, he's a good hook for us to have, because when we recruit somebody from the high school, we're getting the inside scoop
Sure.
on them. Like what their heart's like, who they are inside. And of course, the guys that we've gotten from Tyson's high school, and because of Tyson, have been tremendous players for us. But like, here's another thing: how competitive Tyson is. All right. So his junior year, the year he won the Harlan
Yeah.
Hill, all right, after every practice, in summer camp, all right, mostly it was summer camp, we'd be walking off the field, and Tyson, one of our athletic trainers, is a gymnast, right? And they would have a competition on who could walk on their hands the farthest. And they were doing 50 to 75 yards walking on their hands. I mean, literally walk. I wish I had video of it, and I'm just sitting there thinking, and I can't tell the dude to
Yeah.
stop because he's too
He wants to
competitive.
win.
He's not gonna, no, I'm not gonna let her beat me. And but she's now an athletic trainer in another school when we talked about it before the game. So, but that's who the kid is. I mean, he is a special guy. He's as grounded could be. He has an impeccable work ethic. Not only was he the best player on our football team for 5 years, he was the best teammate. The best teammate you could have. Never wanted anything extra. He threw a milestone touchdown, right? And we're at Millersville University, and he comes up to me. He goes, and this is his junior year. He goes, Coach, that was like my 100th touchdown pass. He goes, can I have the game ball?
First time, right? He's never asked for one. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, you can have whatever you want, Tyson, but do me a favor. Just give it to the manager to give to your dad, because I don't want to draw a lot of attention to giving game balls away, because they're $75 a piece.
We need that money. We have to save every dollar. We can't be asking.
I mean, we have a small budget, man.
That's so good.
Yeah. And then that night, his dad sent me a video of him giving that game ball to his grandfather, who's passed away,
amazing.
who he was really close to.
The on-the-field exploits. I mean, the leadership stuff, that's all off the charts. Was this guy tearing up Division II? Obviously we started seeing footage, the grainy footage, and we don't even know the start of it.
Yep.
You lived it. What was it like having him as your quarterback, and what kind of stuff did he do?
Well, this is a story I like to tell. His freshman year as a starter, all right? We're playing the last game of the season. We're 7-2, and we end up losing the game. All right, and we're in a small stadium. You can hear people heckling you. You can hear people giving you grief. People yelling at the quarterback. He's taking a sack. I'm wondering why he didn't get rid of the ball. Like, what'd you see? He goes, Coach, that was on me. He goes, we couldn't run the football. He is a team first guy. He'll own everything that happens to the team and put it on his shoulders, his back. And I realized that that's the kind of guy we have to go and put the best players around than we possibly can. And that was our goal from there on out. Make sure he had the receivers that he needed, the O-line that we tried to do everything we could do to build that team. Every team we've had since his freshman year around Tyson Bagent and his strengths and what he could do. And I thought we did a pretty good job of that. We were able to win a lot of ball games. He broke a lot of records, and he's done it with multiple receivers. The guy has an uncanny ability to make people around him better. We had a receiver going from his freshman year, had 8 catches to 99 catches the next year because he worked all summer with Tyson Bagent, and they had a great connection together. So it's a 90 catch difference because Tyson believed in him and he believed in Tyson, and they were on the same page. I mean, that's just one of many examples. He made O-linemen better. He made running backs better. He made tight ends better, wide receivers better. He made our defense better, the whole deal. And it's all game to him, too. Like, everything's a competitive game. We do a blitz pickup, right? We do like to start practice off once a week in a blitz pickup. And he just would love to do the dummy cadence. Yeah, he would go, I would be standing right next to him. He'd go, ready, set, hut, hut, hut. And then he would look at it and go, there you are. Mike 6. And, but it was a challenge for him that every challenge he wants that he'll accept.
All right. So we go to the draft process. Senior Bowl is amazing. He plays well. He's with, he's in front of the Bears staff, he's there, all this stuff. But then the draft comes along and he goes undrafted. Was that a great disappointment? Were you guys surprised? And I'm sure you spoke to 32 NFL teams.
You know what? I'll tell you what. Our tackle, who's on the practice squad with the Steelers, Joey Fisher, and after that draft happened, I mean, immediately after it ended, I said, if either one of these two guys don't get drafted, we'll never get anybody drafted. And that's really how I felt. But I also understand, like, when you get to the later rounds, the 6th and 7th round, sometimes you're better being a free agent because you get a chance to pick. You and your agent pick the best spot for you, and that's what happened. I think we're fortunate that Tyson didn't get drafted and was able to sign that free agent deal with the Bears because he seems to be in the right place at the right time. Obviously, Luketsky, the Bears offensive staff, knew who he was from the Senior Bowl, had confidence in him. And I just think he's in a good spot.
Yeah, and to take it all full circle, in a couple of days, Chris Collinsworth and Mike Tirico are going to be saying his name and calling it. I mean, is this not surreal that a year ago at this time he was playing with you guys, going up against Bloomsburg, and now he's got Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack and Derwin James staring down at him with Tirico and Collinsworth on the call?
Well, like I told you, I got a chance to watch the first half. We did it as a team and before we started our team meeting, and on Sunday. And I can tell you, when I watched that game, I kept finding out where Crosby was. And I was like, because I didn't want that dude to get a free shot on my guy. So I think it's I was really impressed with the Bears. I thought they did a great job. I thought Tyson handled his role the right way. The running game that they had, the one catch that I thought was DJ Moore had, it was a ball that was kind of sailing on Tice. I thought that he made a great catch. I was really happy for Chicago, and of course I'm a Bears fan now. I'm all in.
Sorry,
with Bears.
Ravens.
So,
it's not your year. Yeah, this is going to be a Bears fan.
And I am a Ravens fan.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah.
In closing, talk about your school, your program, and not only what Tyson has brought as far as a national spotlight goes, but some of the great stuff that you guys are doing because this isn't a flash in the pan. You guys are a winning franchise, winning program, and have been for years.
Yeah, you know what? I'm in a place. We Shepherd's a special place. We can really attract a lot of really good players to come to Shepherd because of the culture of our program. We battled the portal and Division One offers with both Joey and Tyson, and I know it's my job to create a culture where guys don't feel they have to leave. They only can leave if it's a much better situation for them. But we just had homecoming last weekend, and when you get a chance to look at all the former players that come back that you've had an opportunity to coach, you realize that we just have a really good spot here where football is important to our administration. Football is important to the local area. We get tremendous support. Like our environment for a home football game, the two greatest days on our campus are graduation and a home football game, and graduation's number two. So, I mean, it's an exciting day on our campus when we play at home, and we have a tremendous fan base. We have unbelievable access to a lot of really good players within a 2.5 hour radius of our campus, and it's fun for me, and I think our coaches to work somewhere and coach the game where it's important to a lot of people.
You got Bloomsburg this weekend. Give us a little preview on the season with Peter Schrager. We're all going to be checking our phones. Give us a preview. What do they got? Who are you, and who are we looking at?
Well, you know what? Right now, Bloom we're going to be on the road. Okay. It's a tough place to go play. If you were to look at the tape, or if you were to look at just stats and stuff like that, you would think it's going to be an easy victory for us. It's not. We're going to have to play well. We're going to have to, what I'd like to say, make the ordinary play extraordinary. Right. They just do the little things right. The big things will take care of themselves. Handle adversity when it comes, because we're going to have some type of adversity, and just play with each other. And don't look at the scoreboard. Don't look at the clock. Just play the game and make the ordinary play, and I think we'll be just fine.
Now I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to give you some advice here. And this is me as a media guy and a big talking head and a New York hotshot. You guys finished that game against Bloomsburg. Coach, I don't know what money you got in the piggy bank. You got to fly out to L.A. You got to watch your boy in person Sunday night. Can we get there?
There's no way, because we got a big one the next week, and we're going to be in the office Sunday morning. But Tyson's brother, Ezra, is a freshman quarterback in our program.
Really?
Yeah, and he had a great career at Martinsburg as well, and he's here with us. And I called his dad about midweek once I realized that Tyson was going to start. Yeah. And I said, hey, make sure you take Ezra out there.
Did Ezra miss the game to go, or he went and did both?
No, he left. He played in the game, actually got his first college completion on
Ezra
Saturday.
Bagent, let's go.
Ezra Bagent, yeah. And then after the game, went to the airport, flew and met his parents and family in Chicago, and was there with Tyson and the family and friends.
I love it.
I mean, they're just an awesome family, and you know what? They're easy people to root for. I promise you that.
So are you, my friend. Ernie, this was so cool. Coach Ernie McCook, Shepherd University. What an amazing whirlwind this has been, and yet you sound as natural and as non-surprised as it could ever be. It seems like, not to get too religious with you, but it feels like this was in the stars, and you kind of saw this happening a long time ago.
I truly believe in the blessings of life that we have, and I do a radio show on Thursday nights, and 2 weeks ago it was West Virginia playing Houston, and I'm sitting there, and of course the one guy is a West Virginia alum that does the radio show, and I said, man, there's my favorite West Virginia coach of all time, and that's like sacrilegious there if it's not Don Nealon. He looked at me sideways. I said, yeah, it's Dana Holgorsen. But I said, he's my favorite because he didn't offer Tyson.
There you go. That's a great way to do it. I was like, Dana is good coach. Okay, go on. That's it. That's a great story. That's a great story. You're full of them, dude. This is awesome. Ernie, thank you. Get back to practice. Loved having you on the season with Peter Schrager, and good luck this weekend against Bloomsburg.
Thank you very much. It was a lot of fun.